You're watching The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are The Breakfast Clubs. We got some special guests in the building. First and foremost, the RZA.
The ruler zigzag zigala.
And I know him as the DJ for the Wu-Tang Clan.
A lot of mathematics.
That's right, in the building.
Yeah. I never met him. This guy, you always see his name on production credits throughout the years. Mathematics. Good to meet you, my brother.
Same here. Pleasure.
Now, RZA, are you doing any production on the Wu-Tang album, the new one that's coming out?
On this new album, Wu-Tang the Saga Continues, all produced by Law Mathematics.
Wow.
And
Every
you used
track.
the ASR 10, right?
Yeah.
I was reading.
Yep. ASR
And you took
10.
it back, huh?
Yeah, took it back. You know, weapon of choice.
I ain't
You
mad
can
at
hear it, though.
You can hear
In
it.
the records I heard, you can hear it.
That's good.
Why'd you decide to take a back seat on this one, RZA?
Yo, Allah Math talent has been great for years, but I think he really got it perfected. And when he was kind of putting it together, just making music, you know what I mean? And when I heard it, I was like, wow, I forgot about that authentic Wu sound, because, you know me, I'm in the space with it right now.
Right.
I mean, making films and all that. So it was like, for me, it was like a pleasure to hear that sound could be generated by somebody else in our crew. And that's why it's the saga continues, you know what I mean? So I'm the executive producer. I ain't got to press those buttons right now. Let the Law Math press the buttons, you know what I mean? I just come in at the end and just give a little shapey shape on
How
it.
hard was that for you? Because you're such a hands-on person from the beginning to just let somebody say, here.
Yeah, you know, I'm growing up. I'm a man now, you know what I mean? So I'm not as attached as I was in the past. And also, I guess sometimes when you're doing something, you feel nobody else could do it, you know what I mean? And you always say, yo, hold on, let me do it. Let me show you. You know what I mean? But then when you see somebody can do it, you got to let that go. And I think for any MC out there who's doing what you're doing, I think it's time for y'all to call Allah Math and get one of his tracks, because, yo, he got 5 more other fire joints he played that ain't on the album.
So for Matt, for you, I'm sure you keep in contact with everybody because you also DJ for everyone.
Yeah.
So from the very beginning, right? So how difficult was it for you to get everybody's verses? Because I know the guys are all over the place.
Yeah, dudes is all over the place. But at the same time, it wasn't that hard. It's like, for me, it was like just like, when you know, coming through with the music. So when I came through with the music and brothers heard it, they was attracted. So that's the whole thing. You want to bring them in. Like, oh, like, you don't want to come with something they be like, yeah, that's all right. You know, because that's what you're going to get. You're going to get, like, you know, you my man, you my brother, I got you.
God, but.
Yeah, but when you come with that, then it's like, ooh. Then when somebody else hears somebody else's verse and be like, wait, hold on. I got to top that right
Were
there.
any of those verses older verses, or they were all new verses?
Nah, new verses.
So
Meth said some of them were older.
Well,
he said that's why they got a vintage sound.
I ain't going to say they was older. What it is, I've been working on a project for a while.
Gotcha.
So it's like sometimes, like for me, like if I do a joint, right, it's like when I get the verses, I'm not done with the joint. So I'm still adding, building on it as far as, like, you know, making sure the production is right, making sure, you know, everything mesh. So like Meth is one of the first dudes, because I'm on the road with Meth. So he was one of the first dudes that was on it. And it's like when he was hearing it, he was like, yo, he was already hopping on everything early. So it's like I got most of Meth stuff early, and then I came back around to him, and we did some more. So yeah, for Meth, yeah, he gonna say that. You know what I mean? But
You started this like after A Better Tomorrow.
yeah, Better Tomorrow.
You know, everybody was, you know, I think everybody was, yo, Riz is bringing in bands and all that.
Right.
And me and Math had a conversation that was like, yo, you know what, yo, brother, maybe you should do the next album or something like that. You know what I mean? And he didn't take it like that at that time.
I didn't take it like that.
But
I was like, nah, that crown is heavy.
right.
I was like,
Well, so you think so Meth Party started doing his verses in 14, 15?
Yeah, like 14.
and why Redman? I see Redman on a couple of tracks.
Well, I'm on the road with Meth and Red all the time, and, you know, Red is, you know, that's Wu-Tang cousin, and it's like,
Right.
you know, me and Red is mad tight too, so it's like, Red was seeing the progression as well. So Red, you know, like when I asked him to get on the first one, and he heard it, he was all in.
Red was like, no doubt.
Yeah, he was all in. So then when he heard the second one, like, you know, because he got on a couple of tracks, you know what I mean? And that was just out of, you know, being on the road, hearing what I was working on.
Right.
And he's a brother too, you know. I play stuff for him too, like, yo, let me
How you
get
like
your,
this, right?
Yeah, let me get your opinion. And he's like, yo, hold up. So, you know, Yeah.
Now, RZA, I don't say why do you, but you always allow your producers to get their credit because you always hear stories about super producers having ghost producers and they be taking credit for their beats. You've never done that with Mathematics or True Disciple, I think.
True Master and Fourth Disciple.
Fourth Disciple. I combined them too. True Master and Fourth Disciple. You've never done that.
You know, it's so crazy. First of all, on this album, you know, Math was like on some of the music. You know, he felt I helped inspire it, right? And he was like, you know, you want to get a co-production credit on it. I was like, nah, why would I? You know, he did it, yo. He lived it out. I don't need, you know, nobody else merits for my merits. You know what I mean? And I think when a man talent is where it's at, you know, he should be given that chance, given that opportunity. I'm not that kind of guy. I heard those stories too. I don't know how many of those stories is real. I like to believe those stories ain't real. You know what I mean? I like to believe that the producer did what he did. You know what I'm saying? But you're not going to find a joint that says RZA that wasn't done by me. You're not going to find that. You know what I mean?
Do you guys keep in contact with True Master and Fourth Disciple? I know True Master just got out of jail not that long ago.
Yeah. He called me like the first week out of jail. He hit me up, and I don't think he was just ready yet. You know what I mean? It ain't easy to come out of the joint and be where your brain's supposed to be at. It takes
Still
time.
Institutionalized.
Yeah. You know what I mean? But you know, I love that was one of my favorite brothers. You know, True Master was he helped pioneer things that y'all would know. Like you think about Gangstar early music, he was always in that cipher with those brothers as well. And he was the one that used to be downtown Brooklyn selling books. When you see books like the ISIS paper, they came before Columbus. You know, the Ivan Van Sertima books. He was the dude that was putting us all onto that because he was like a scholar with that. You know what I mean? So a lot of hip hoppers and J. Wu the Damager and all of them, you know, we got to give them some homage to that. But somewhere I think he made a little left turn. Happens, you know, and he's, you know, they threw him in the joint. You know what I mean?
Well, who created the Wu-Tang sound? This could be a stupid question, but who created the Wu-Tang sound?
I'm saying, yo, I'm the founder of that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So creation, you know, Wu-Tang has a temple that's thousands of years old in China. You know what I mean? But for the Western civilization, you know, I'm the abbot. You know what I mean? The spirit of that entered me. You know what I mean? To do what I had to do. You know what I mean? And I took that. You know, even against the odds of my homies. You know, it was other people that was like, man, with that kung fu, like, we black. You know what I mean? But for me, I saw the universal language that it was trying to say. You know what I mean? The Wu is the way. You know what I mean? You know, being having mathematics in my consciousness, W is for wisdom, and U is for universe, and the wisdom of the universe, it gotta expand. So not doing that egotistically, but I'm the founder of that right here in the Western Hemisphere. When I went back to China to the abbot of Wu-Tang Mountain, he was like, history already knows you, and you are the abbot of Western. And he was a musician. The abbot of the Chinese Wu-Tang temple is also a musician, but he don't sell his music. He just gives it to people.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Now before Wu-Tang, you were Prince Rakeem.
Yeah.
Right? So that transition, were you like, okay, this is just not me at all? Was that like a label trying to make you be something that was, at that time, Big Daddy Kane-ish?
Well, at that time, you know, I was already Wu-Tang then also. If you look at, like, on my single, it says the Wu-Tang mix. And most of the Wu-Tang members was down with a crew called DMD, which is called Dick 'em Down. You know what I mean? And those were the crews I would hang with between Stapleton and Park Hill. But Prince Rakeem is my attribute. You know what I mean? My name is Divine Prince Master Rakeem Zigzag Zigalaw. And so Prince Rakeem was my attribute. So I'm always going to be proud of that. But as far as the music or the choice of releases, that was chose by the label. I think that I made the music, so nothing against it. But I think that Monica, the president at the time, she saw me in competition with Will Smith and them. I think, I was kind of aggressive inside, but if you clean me up, I could be a nice guy, you know, like, you know what I mean, Fresh Prince type of guy or whatever. And I think she thought that was the way to go with me, you know.
That's why they had the girls on the hook. We love you, right?
Yeah. They was loving me a little bit, but I wasn't, you know, I was
You
more
wasn't
of a,
happy about it.
Yeah, I was more of a, like, I wasn't a girlfriend guy. You know what I mean? If I catch you Friday, we pop it off, I'm just keeping it moving. You know what I mean? The one night stands type of individual. That was more of my energy. You know what I mean? But I guess they saw. You know, she saw what she saw, and it helped me a lot because it gave me a little education of the industry. You know what I mean? I had a chance to go through the system, had a chance to go and have a few groupies in my life. The record actually was in the countdown in Texas, right? With Jimmy Olsen at the Box in Houston. I made the countdown. They flew me out to do their little summer jam or radio jam they had back in the day. And it really opened my brain up to like to what hip hop could be and what I can be and what an artist can be, right? And when Wu-Tang was finally made Protect Your Neck, one of the first DJs to play it was one of the Texas DJs that I met when I was doing
Dope. Prince Raheem stuff.
Network.
And my man from PRB, never could forget this dude, Greg from Philly, right? You know, white boy Greg?
Oh yeah, G.
G.
Oh, G.
Yo, G, yo. I got all. He ended up working in my office, but he was the
always
dude.
riding a bike and everything everywhere.
Yeah. No, he was a hip hop head. And I met him because when I put out Prince Rakeem, I had to kind of travel with Tretch and him, right? So we would go to different radio stations and then freestyle out and I had Old Dirty with me. So Greg would hear us like, yo, wow, this is nothing like your record. Like, what is this energy? And then he invited me down a few times after the record had died out, and he just became a Wu head. And when the Wu-Tang Protect Your Neck came out, I never forget the issue of it was like, Gavin can't report it unless 2 other DJs report it. I mean, so Greg was the first one, he's playing it. But he couldn't write it in his playlist unless somebody else was playing it. I think Will Strickland and was one other brother from that both jumped on it.
Will he was at Sony?
No, he was just a DJ. He probably got to Sony after Wu-Tang blew up. They started hiring DJs. Like, yo, let's hire this guy. But anyway, it took some of the people that appreciated Prince Rakeem or appreciated the Jizza words from a genius to help spark and give us a little light to start that fire.
Now, Mathematics, you created the Wu-Tang logo?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a dope shirt too.
Yeah, I got a lot of Wu-Tang paraphernalia. Thank you for the wallet. RZA came in here with gifts.
I know, I'm
wallets.
excited.
Now, how'd you come up with the logo? How'd you think of that one?
Well, the logo, like originally when we go way back, even like when the guy was on Tommy Boy, when he first had the stickers, I did his stickers too, the Wu-Tang stickers. And like I did graffiti too. So as far as graffiti goes, I was doing lettering and we was building. We was just talking about having something that stands out. So the actual logo actually came just one night. The guy called me, was like, "Yo, I'm getting these joints printed up tomorrow. I need a logo tomorrow." So I was like, "Word, tomorrow?" And at the time, I was doing I was working carpentry. Like I'm a carpenter. My pops was a carpenter. Brought me in. So I was working at the site. So I came home from work. I was like, all right. I was living in 40 Projects right off of South Road, right? Came in, went and got me a 40-ounce of Old English.
It was a 40-ounce
got me a Philly blunt, rolled me up one. I sat on the floor, on the living room floor, and just started, came up with what I came up with. So I just remember, we discussed a few things, you know what I mean?
That's some editing and all that, but
yeah. And then
who was the first person you showed it to, RZA?
Yeah.
Okay.
They came up to the job, him, Ghost, Power, and Divine. Like I'm at the job working.
You got the carpenter job and doing construction. And they're like, yo.
Yeah. It's like they just came in. It's like I'm working. I just seen everybody else looking like, yo. So I'm looking like, I'm looking like, yo, what's going on over here? I see them coming off the elevator. So I was like, oh, okay. So I went right to, we had cubbies. I went right to my cubby, got it. I had it in a black book. Right. Got it, brought it to the guard. I remember all of them looking at it. Like this past, he's like, yeah, this is it.
And it was this right here, this W.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All of the Wu-Tang merchandise we see, like in Target and everywhere, like who gets the money for that though?
But that goes to the company. I mean, a lot of math did Joy, but how much I paid you for that back then?
What was it?
$400?
Something like that.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, yo, but at the time that was half my rent money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I mean, he drew it, but it was a paid for service. You know what I mean? So it's owned by the company. I own the company. So the majority of it goes to the company.
All the licensing and everything.
Yeah.
Now,
wow. So y'all rich forever off a logo.
Yeah.
Mathematics, you want to renegotiate?
Well, I get a percentage, so you know what I mean. So it's
the Nike guy did the Nike logo for $250.
Wow, that's swish.
I really was contemplating last week if I wanted to get a Wu-Tang tattoo. I'm dead ass serious.
He
I'm like, am I
thought
too
about it.
old
I
for a
told
Wu-Tang
him-
tattoo?
I told him he might be a little too old.
I'm dead ass
He might be a little too
Because I'm
old.
getting a bunch of stuff redone, so I'm like, yo, if I just get a
Yeah,
little
so if you
small
get stuff
Wu-Tang
redone,
tattoo,
why
word
not?
up.
Where would you get
Where
it?
you gonna put it?
I actually like how Meth had it right here. Meth got his
yeah.
right here. That look kind of dope.
But he thinks he's Wu-Tang / Mobb Deep. Like he had Queensbridge in the back of his head as a kid. Like
Listen, I love Mobb Deep, but Wu-Tang was more.
Wu-Tang probably got the
they-
best logo of all time.
Yeah, they had more impact
Also.
on my life
Thank you.
than Mobb, though. But I love the Mobb.
Now, is there anybody that was difficult to get on the album?
Nah, not really. It's like everything was just like really timing because it's like Brothers is doing so much right now.
Right.
So yeah, not really.
Who took the longest? I know who took the longest.
I
Who took
probably
the
know too.
longest?
Look, you know.
Was it Ghost? 'Cause
I bet I
see
know who
Ghost on
took the
first single.
longest.
No, who took the longest?
Raekwon.
Nah, Ray's fast.
Nah, well, Ray, well, yeah, he's fast. Once
Ray's
he get
fast.
to working, he in it.
But Math, who took the longest?
Who took the longest? I'm trying to think. Who really took the
Ray's
longest?
like, I know, nigga.
I ain't gonna say if you ain't gonna say it.
I'm gonna tell you who was there though. When I definitely called and whenever it was Meth. Like Meth went in on this album. So it's, I know he doing his Hollywood thing, killing the deuce and all that. But for anybody who think he's not really on that lyrics right now, they going
He's slaying.
Nah, he did on the people say he killed that.
He's like he's writing like he got something to prove.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't know about that. You know what I mean?
It's a couple of other joints. Like when you hear these joints, you're gonna be like, oh, hold up.
He also did say he's not going on tour this time around. Though.
He said he had other obligations.
Yeah, he's a busy man.
Well, we're gonna, as the Godfather said, we have to make him an offer. He can't.
Now, Math, I know you've also been doing scoring and everything. So what else are you working on? I know once this album comes out, there's gonna be a lot of people knocking down your door.
Yeah, I'm just really perfecting the craft of the beats. I just like that's my passion right now. That and I like to write. So that's something I've been working on. I'm still working on that though. But for the moment, yeah, it's definitely just the music. Just the music.
That's interesting that you would feel like people were coming to knock on your door. Now you've been out here doing records.
Yeah, but what it is that sometimes like when I guess like music go through phases too. So it's like even like for this project, it's like I stayed true to myself. That's why I went back to the ASR 10. To get that same grittiness that we had, but then today it's like it's a different sonic. So I had to really go into trying to get the sonics to match that so that it sounds crisp, clean like today, but still full.
But I'm seeing a lot of
And-
producers do that. I'm seeing like I even see Swiss messing with the ASR, the SPs, the Back to the Trinity Triton sound.
You can only do that if you're older though, or have some type of experience with
you
that
know
though.
those,
Yeah,
you know those
Yeah,
pieces of
because
equipment.
now
you know
what
they're
you-
expensive.
Right, but what it is now though, because it's like even like on this album, right? Like there's no samples on it, so it's like everything like if I played it or if I couldn't play it, I had to get somebody to play it, to lock it in key for me.
Right.
And I would run it back through the ASR. I know I'm giving away little secrets, but it's
Yeah,
all good.
it actually is a secret because if I would have did that on the Better Tomorrow, if I would have ran the music back through the ASR, I would have had a sound that you got. But I forgot. Like I said, I forgot. That's why it's good when you see producers in your crew or others. They say each one teach one. That's a lesson. You know what I mean? And that's why I got excited about the record.
Because I learned from the God.
You know what I'm saying?
That's how.
And now I'm looking back, getting learned back from him. Like remembering, reminding me like, hold on, God, G, you could have just put it through the ASR because it's a certain frequency that machine has that to me automatically stamps it as hip hop. You know what I mean? Because we used to hearing
Right.
what comes out of the ASR. You know what I mean?
Now, what about the album you did for Martin Shkreli? Are we ever gonna get that album?
It's an 88 year wait, bro.
They said he put it
We'll be
on eBay. He put it up on sale on eBay. He said.
Yeah, he did. I think it's like I don't know. I saw the highest bid was like 1.1 million. I don't. There's a lot of legal things that go with that. I don't know exactly. There's a lot of things that I can't even disclose all of it. But there's a lot of legal parameters around that record. But what he did do though, I gotta just say this: the idea was to bring value back to music. You know what I mean? And I disagree when people was buying headphones for $600 but won't pay $1 for the music that's gonna go in the headphone. And so also disagreed that we was devaluing music from not even being represented as art. And so the idea was to say, you know what, let's put it in the art gallery. Let's make music become a living piece like a Mona Lisa or a scepter from Egypt. And that's what that record was. And it was auctioned off. And the crazy thing is that it's auctioned off and he bought it. You know, he's the guy who put his money where his mouth is. It was other billionaire dudes that was talking about they was going to buy it, or they bid.
I read the book. The Once Upon a Time in Shaolin. Yeah.
So the crazy thing is that now he pits it out and auctions it off. And it's funny that, you know, I didn't know what was going to happen. I was like, wow, why would he do that? But I'm glad to see that it got up to $1 million because that means that other people
see the value.
See the worth of it. Right.
That's to me, that's the beauty of it all. You know what I mean?
Did you feel back then his energy wasn't right though? Like when y'all
I met him?
Yeah.
Nah, because I met him in March of was that 2015, 2014, whatever it was. When I met him, you know, he came in. He had his homies with him, 2 other dudes. I had a dude with me, all you know, pretty preppy people. You know what I mean? And we was at the Soho House. I know he said I came in like I'm God. You know?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. He started being disrespectful after the fact. Even saying he was gonna put hands on goals, put hands on you.
I don't know who he's on there. I mean, I came in. I'm me. I'm not. I don't care. I'm me, yo. Nobody. But anyway, but he seemed like he had a story that I could relate to. His parents came in as immigrants from Albania. They worked out at Sheepshead Bay. My aunt lives in Sheepshead Bay. You know what I mean? Go to Coney Island. The sweet floors, whatever, you know what I mean? And then he makes it through the Bronx High School of Science. I tried to go to the Bronx High School of Science, you know what I mean?
I think we all did. Everybody from New York at least applied there.
Yeah, you applied, baby. You know what I mean? You didn't get that 320, was it? Right? Yeah. I was like 310.
Yeah.
But Brooklyn Tech, they said, you know what I mean? But anyway, so he had a story that I was like, wow, okay. And he loved, you know, Wu. He said some of Wu lyrics has inspired him, you know what I mean? And 50. He said, you know, even he said, yo, I love Wu-Tang. 50 is my favorite. You know what I mean? I said, all right, well, you should know hip hop. And I said, this thing to me is important to me like a child. You know what I mean? You know, are you going to respect it and take care of it? He said, yeah. And so we made that deal. And then I think maybe like 3 months later, I'm home with my wife. I'm watching Bill Maher. And it says scumbag. And it's him like, oh, wait, that's the guy that I made the deal with about the record. And then it goes on about him hiking the pills up.
Right.
And then from there, but we was already
You already
engaged.
had sold
Yeah,
them.
we was already, you know, the contracts was being drafted up and all that. So it was
But he
like,
paid in full. The check didn't bounce.
check the inbound.
Oh, that's all that matters.
Is
Now,
the album any
I'm
good?
not
I'm saying, I mean, is it good? Like, is it? Cause you kind of critical of A Better Tomorrow. Like, what kind of sound was it? Is it more like The Saga Continues, more Better Tomorrow? Was it vintage Wu?
More
Like,
like Wu-Tang Forever.
Now, Matt, for you, I remember we had a conversation about Eminem.
Right.
And you guys actually, Eminem came and performed at Park Hill Day one year. This was before he was signed, before anybody really knew who he was. He was just doing Lyricist Lounge and freestyling. And you were like, man, we had a chance, an opportunity to sign Eminem at one point.
Yeah, he came to Park Hill, right? That was what, 90? What year was that? Was that 97?
It might have been like 97.
Yeah, something like that.
Well,
That's
I say
crazy.
one thing, his freestyle on Trump, yo. Did he go in?
Yeah, he went in.
it was decent.
Charlamagne said it's mediocre.
I know what you're saying.
I like the messaging of it. The message was bigger than the actual bars.
I thought the bars
How
were
about
pretty
the
clever.
expression in the bars too, though?
He sold it.
He sold it.
He sold
okay?
it. Yeah, he sold
And I
it.
think coming from a white brother, because if we do it, we complaining.
Right.
Yeah. I like seeing white people use their privilege to combat prejudice. So I give them all the props for that.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you want that. You know what I mean? I appreciate it. I was like, oh. I want to see what they gonna say now. If I would have said it, they'd been like, that mother.
Yeah, it's just little things that bother me after the fact when I see Keith Oldman say, I haven't listened to hip hop in 27 years. I didn't even like rap until last night. And I'm like, that's kind of a slap in the face a little bit to the
That's
culture.
not
like,
Eminem's fault.
I know.
Yeah. You know what, Keith? I know he's gonna have to rate my movies. I think he might have gave me a D on one of my movies.
Wow.
I'm like, yo.
Which movie?
Iron Fist. It wasn't Keith. I don't know who. It was some. Yo, I ain't gonna find with some writer that gave me a D. Right? Yo, I was so pissed off. I was like, I'm about to go to the office because there's nowhere in the world that was the grade. You
This
know
ain't the
what I mean?
music industry days. You can't run up on the magazine
Yo,
anymore.
I'm serious. I talked to the producer about it. He was like, Bobby, look, some people gonna like it, some people not gonna like it. That's our business. I was like, but a D? I said, yo, when I screened it for the press, I had press dudes coming to me say, yo, I enjoyed it more than James Bond. Because it was the same time of Bond, you know what I mean? And then he gonna write that it was something, somebody wrote like it wasn't real. It ain't real. Of course it ain't real.
It's a movie.
But James Bond, in that episode, right, which I love James Bond, but in this episode of James Bond, right, he starts off with a gun chase, riding a motorcycle across top of a building, shooting with a handgun against machine guns, right? And then after he does that, he lands on a train. He hand fights a guy on the train. They tore up half the city. A girl chasing, looking at them. Then all of a sudden, as they on the train, there's a scope on them. Take the shot. And his own partner shoots him. He gets hit, falls off the train bridge, plunges into the water. Next time we see him, he's having a drink, just got some Power U.
That sounds realistic.
That's real.
I'm like, yo. Anyway.
Have you been watching all this stuff with Harvey Weinstein too? And now all these women coming forward, and people are saying in Hollywood that's just what it is.
I don't know if that's just what it is. I mean, I don't think that's just what it is. I mean, because I never been in a situation that, I'll say this. I think, like, some people have a natural ability to attract the opposite sex, whether they got money or not.
Right.
And some people need money and power to do it. And if you can't do it without your own natural qualities, you're going to try to use anything else you have to do.
You're going to use that position of power, absolutely.
And men for years have done that, you know what I mean? And I'm blessed not to have to be a man like that, you know what I mean? But a lot of men who have that, I guess it's a different, it's an impotency. No,
What is it?
Impotency.
Okay.
Whatever.
Impotent, that means your dick won't get hard.
Right. So they impotent in a different way.
Oh, got you.
Right. They don't have the natural ability, so they use what they got. Look, for me, and Harvey Weinstein, he's actually the man that started my film career. You know what I mean? So I'm in debt to him as a professional, and I never got a chance to see him do the things that he's done. You know,
He never tried you.
How you gonna try, man?
What are you talking about?
Harvey like pussy.
You know what I mean?
Somebody tried Terry Crews.
Yeah, but it wasn't Harvey. Though. It wasn't Harvey.
He said it wasn't Harvey. He said it was somebody.
Somebody tried Terry Crews?
Yeah, he came
But
forward.
with his wife. He said
He was with his wife.
Yeah, Terry said a Hollywood exec walked up to him and grabbed
Grabbed
his
his
dick.
balls.
Oh!
Straight like
Yo,
that.
I'm like I said, my energy don't, you know what I mean? I got a different kind of energy.
Is this a good segue to talk about your movie coming up?
Yep.
All good.
Yeah.
Because we saw the trailer, and obviously Azealia Banks is the star of that movie, but that relationship went left.
Yeah, well, did you like the trailer?
I haven't seen it. I ain't seen the trailer.
Listen, she actually looks like she's doing a really good job in it. I saw Commons in it. What's
Jill
his name?
Scott.
John David Washington.
Yeah, John David.
Jr.
I love John David, man.
Yeah, from
fire.
Ballers. Yeah, Jill
Yep.
Scott's in it.
Yep, and Common. And MF makes his appearance as well.
So let's talk about that.
MF who?
because
Doom?
Method Man. No,
Oh, Meth. You said Meth. You said MF. I was like, what? I got shot really.
Yeah, but obviously while you guys were working on the movie, you had a good relationship with her. She thought that you were supposed to manage her, sign her, whatever. What, you were signing her?
I was helping her get her music career started as well. I mean, she got a music career. I was co-signing her, you know. Yeah, it was a record deal on the table for her, yeah.
So you didn't anticipate, you didn't see any signs that things were perhaps not going to work out because she definitely
No, look.
had a history.
Well, you know what? I heard about her history, but when she came to work for me, yo, I'm serious. She did her job every day. She showed up. If I was like, put this on, fall on the bed, cry.
That sounds like Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah.
That's funny. But anyway, I was paying, huh? She really cool. She's a natural talent, yo. And so I never got a chance to see any of the other rumors that I heard. And we just had a bad night, yo. Usually a bad night. Look, bad nights happen.
Right.
I ain't gonna front, you know. There's always a party you can go to. It's usually real private. You know, we're in a world now that when something happens, it explodes. You know what I mean? So if that would have been something that happened and stayed in the room, it would have just been something that happened, stayed in the room, and we'd have moved on. But it got out the room. You know what I mean? But it takes nothing away from the great talent that she is or the talent that she delivered in this film. She delivered, y'all. And I don't care how I was very angry at a point, but I can't be angry at her talent.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because she delivered.
Why were you angry? Why? Because you felt like she was like just disparaging your character.
Yeah, I felt like yo, we was, you at a party, everybody partying. It's a lot of things gonna happen in the party, kid.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If you turn the lights on, and we start drinking over there, and somebody gonna zone.
Did Russell put hands on her though? Or spit on her like she said?
Look, he spit at her. I saw that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He didn't spit on her. He's like, blah, like you would, like that's what you are. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And I almost got on me. I'm like, yo.
Did you check him in that point though?
Yeah,
that's a white dude spitting at a black woman. You had to check him. You had
he apologized to me. You know what I mean? He said, but the night was crazy, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to relive it. It was crazy, and it was super duper awkward. I'm telling you. One day, I'll make a scene in the movie about it one day.
Wow.
You know what I mean? You'll see it, then you'll go, oh, that might be that night right there. You know
Imagine if when you guys were coming up, there was all kinds of social media and cameras, and you guys wouldn't have been able to do anything.
Yeah. I mean, look, when you got alcohol, you know what I mean, marijuana, any other substance in the room with people, and you got, everybody partying for hours, someone's gonna crack off, you know what I mean, one way or another, you know what I mean? So that's life, yo. And if it gets out of hand, like ODB, right? He'll actually will raise it up to that level. Everybody ready to fight, guns will come out, and he'll kiss you right on the nose and nullify the whole thing. That night, the kiss didn't happen. Let's say that. A kiss would have ended it all. You know what I mean? Would have calmed it all back then.
Is it hard to promote this movie though without the lead character promoting the movie?
Well, I mean, yeah, in a way, of course. But look, Azealia, she has to love what she did in this movie. Right. I'm serious, and I think that when people see what she does, I think they're gonna have a new respect for her because we all know she's talented, but the warmth of her character, you know what I mean? She really plays the movie. I'm gonna say something about it. I was told when I got this script, I didn't write it. They told me that this has to be PG-13.
Right.
Now you're telling RZA to do a PG-13. And they didn't think that I could do it. You know what I mean? It was other directors up for the job, you know what I mean? And they chose me, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna make this a very warm story. You know what I mean? I went and watched Flashdance.
That's my movie.
Okay.
That is my movie.
So
I love that movie.
Look, I watched that right there. I was like, I want to kind of like see if I could bring an energy like that to our film, you know what I mean? And I watched some Disney joints. And so I had to put her into that world like that, you know what I mean? And she fell right into it, y'all. When you see it, you're going to be like,
you can see the trailer. You can tell that she does like a great, I was like, okay.
Nah, she's super talented. It's interesting. Every conversation I have with like Hollywood producers and stuff, everybody wants to do a Wu-Tang biopic. But they just like, they can't figure it out for whatever reason.
It's a lot of people that have to be
in they say it's so many people involved, but they just can't figure out the story, so to speak.
Well, we're going to work on that. We're going to, that'll be a great, they call it a great culmination of our history, of our dedication to music and hip hop and culture. So we working on that hard. You know, me and Meth actually had a meeting recently that was really, really cool, and he's on board to help put some energy towards that. And I think with me and him starting that fire, I'm sure that other brothers will come and put a log on that fire so it turns into a blaze.
Y'all might need a TV show though or something, like a Netflix series, a few seasons.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, that's actually me and Meth said we talked about potentially going and doing a series about it. So very positive, very positive. I don't want to jinx it. Some people, I got this, I don't do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
But we definitely had a great meeting about it, and it looks so positive. So I think in the next, right now it's third quarter. Fourth quarter now, right? Mm-hmm. Usually nobody spends money in the fourth quarter, right? Everybody trying to make money. So maybe top of the first quarter, when the gates open back up, we'll be able to go in with a concise plan and get that happening.
Now you're a visionary. Did you ever envision growing older in hip hop and what that would look like for a rap group? This is a question for both of y'all, just even with the music and stuff. Like did you ever envision just growing older in hip hop and what that would look like for rappers?
I I'll go first and let you go, Math. I know I've been doing the talking anyway, but sometimes I talk too much. I'm like, Math, you got to talk because I could go. But I told Prince Paul back when I was Prince Rakeem that, I ain't going to be rapping when I'm 30. Because I didn't see it.
It sounded old back then.
Yeah, I didn't see it, right? But then Ghost told me one day, some years ago, that, I'm going to be rapping till I'm 70. That's what I do. And that kind of took a few links off my chain. But I think that it was hard to envision, but having knowledge of self, right? Having knowledge of self is something that gives you that ability to know that your duty to represent culture and inspire the youth is ongoing regardless. So whether I'm holding the mic and jumping on stage or whatever, that's one thing. But being part of this culture, like even what you're doing and what y'all doing, I appreciate so much. You know what I mean? And if I had to end up having a seat and sit down and do this, I still do it because I think that the wisdom I've gained over the years and the knowledge and experience, that is helpful for the youth. And we miss, a lot of us who grew up in our generation, single parents, no father figures, no great father figures to look up to out in the streets besides the dealers and the pimps. We came from that generation. Now we got a generation that can look up to P. Diddy's and Dre's and Jay-Z's, and they could look up to Idris Elba. It's like and the women got so many women to look up to.
Ava DuVernay, Oprah.
Yeah, it's different now. And so it's good for us to be letting them see, hey, look, guys, there's a route. And even with the sports guys, right? Being intelligent, right? The jocks was considered always to be, they just got pushed through school. They don't, man, all these football players, man, are intelligent academically. They speak with such great clarity. They know what they stand for. We're in a great generation, and it's our duty to keep moving first of all, our black people further, but also moving this whole country further and further into this consciousness, yo.
What you think, Matt?
Yeah, that's all good. Yeah, for me, I never envisioned myself getting old. It's like, and when I first started this, it was for fun. It was a hobby. It's like me. I used to do park jams and Baisley projects back in the '80s. So I went through the era of carrying big speakers and crates of records for free, tapping into the light posts, damn near electrocute yourself. And I heard of a kid that got electrocuted over. I'm from Southside Queens. Dude in Hollis got electrocuted going in the. Well, I heard he went to the top. But you hit the bottom. But so I never like even when you saw about when you did Prince Rakeem, that's the first video I was ever in.
Right.
And that was the day I found out you and GZA was related.
Right.
Because I knew RZA, I knew you.
Right.
And then I knew GZA, from around the way, and I was DJing for GZA, and GZA was like, "Yo, my cousin's shooting a video today, like in Queens, go through." So me and Infinite came through. Yeah. It's like, oh snap, it's the God.
40 ounces.
Yeah, 40 ounces.
That's 40 ounces.
So it was all fun. Yeah, so it was all fun, and for me, I am hip hop. So regardless to like how old I get, if I wasn't doing it professionally, I would still be doing it. That's part of how this album even came about, because I never stopped working. I never stopped working on my craft, because I'm going to get up, I'm a DJ anyway. I'm going to make a beat anyway. I might start down a rhyme or draw a little piece, graffiti. But as far as getting old, I never envisioned myself as getting old or being an old man. I always dealt with you deal with the future as far as trying to preserve things, and I always try to preserve myself physically as well too.
You guys
mentally
look
as well
really
as
young
physically.
anyway.
Yeah, but it's like this is your vehicle. I know y'all got the juice bar, so this is your vehicle. You only get one of these, so you got to take care of it. So what you put into it is what makes you up. It's going to show. So it's like you can't cheat yourself. You can try to cheat other people out of believing whatever, but I never envisioned myself as far as getting old. When I get there, I get there. I preserve things for the future, but I'm dealing with the here and now, the present, and trying to prepare for that. But yeah, as far as, just can't see myself as an old man. If I'm old, I think I'm going to be old and still look young. You know what I mean?
Hey, what's the best juice? Like, I've been doing lemon, ginger, cayenne pepper.
Okay.
Is that a good mix?
You really need to have some vegetables in there, like some kale, and some
Depends
spinach.
what you want to do with your
or
body.
something like
Like,
that.
what
But
you
you
wanna do.
definitely
What's the
need
best
that.
morning hit?
I do
You do the
kale.
morning rush.
I do kale, ginger, spinach, green apples, and bananas and ginger.
How long that stay in before it's like you gotta?
It depends on how your body is. If you're not
Right.
accustomed to it, you'll probably have to go to the bathroom. But once you get used to it,
Okay.
your body will adjust. But it's really good to have those nutrients of the greens in there. So
This is my final question. Have any Asians ever accused y'all of cultural appropriation? Because we always everybody's always having these cultural appropriation conversations. There's a Chinese rap group that's like Wu-Tang is culturally appropriating.
Nah, that never happened. I had a great conversation with was it Jeff Chang from the West Coast, who actually deals with that, and he actually appreciates that Wu-Tang has been part of promoting Asian culture to the world and to America.
it's authentic too. It's
Yeah.
not like you guys are trying to steal from the
Nah.
culture. You guys really came up going to 42nd Street and watching the
Yeah.
Kung Fu
Karate
movies.
flicks, forget about it.
And studying the philosophy. You know? America. This is a country, yo, of diverse people. This is why this microphone exists. This light exists because, yeah, Con Edison had a black brother. What's my brother's name?
Louis Latimer.
Yeah, he had who sounds like he could have been half French. You know what I mean? It takes all the diverse cultures to make America, and then for us to be able to include the Asian energy into hip hop, it was already being included in the small break dancers will watch kung fu movies and get break dancing.
Right.
I remember think about it, Grandmaster Flash. That's still a Grandmaster. I don't know if he got it from 7 Grandmasters, but you know the idea. You know we all are. That's why I love that show, The Deuce. It's giving us a taste of some of the things that inspired hip hop culture. So I think that they appreciate what Wu-Tang do, and there's actually there was a Nike commercial for Asia where they, and this was to me it's one of the greatest things, where there's a group of young Asian men doing Wu-Tang lyrics. And I think that's so cool, yo.
Dope.
Well, we appreciate you guys for joining us.
Thank you.
Mathematics RZA. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.